I'm Sarah Spinuzzi. I'm the legal director. I have worked at Orange County Coastkeeper for, it'll be 7 years in November.
My name's Erin Barlow. I am a staff attorney and I have worked at Orange County Coastkeeper for about 6 months.
I started working for Orange County Coastkeeper through an attorney named Jennifer Novak. Met her in law school. I was connected to her through the Environmental Moot Court program. I went to work for my first full-time job as an attorney. After about a year of doing that, Jennifer Novak called and she said, hey, Orange County Coastkeeper is hiring. So she sent my resume to Coastkeeper. The rest is history.
It was kind of serendipitous, really. I mean, I've always wanted to practice environmental law. I double majored in marine biology and politics. I've always had that intersection. I really do have this deep love for the ocean. Ever since I was a kid, I would spend time there with my family, and it's kind of just a deeply meaningful thing to me to be able to protect it and, to use this life that I lead to do something meaningful to protect a place I love.
I knew I wanted to be a lawyer from the time I was probably in 4th grade. People used to tell me, oh, you should be a lawyer. And I didn't realize until maybe a couple years ago that they were actually just finding a polite way to say that you're argumentative and you have a personality disorder. So I realize that now, but I didn't know. I thought they thought that I was smart. When I was in law school, I started surfing. That is what then consumed me once I got into law school. I went surfing every single day. I did most of my surfing in Venice Beach, which I realized has a bunch of trash all over the beach, and water quality was a huge concern. Growing up in Colorado, I kind of took a clean environment for granted. That inspired me to go into environmental law. Together, we manage our enforcement program where we enforce the Federal Clean Water Act, which is the major federal law that protects our rivers and oceans. We are working on a couple of exciting projects right now. We have the Tri-County MS4 permit that is being developed. The MS4 permit is a permit under the Clean Water Act that regulates discharges from storm drains into our rivers, and it's called an MS4 permit, which stands for Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System. That permit controls all sources of pollution that wind up in our storm drains and wind up in our rivers.
What I have been working on is different lawsuits against industrial facilities that are currently in violation of the industrial stormwater permit. Our job is to step into the shoes of the State Water Resources Control Board to enforce the terms of the industrial general permit, as well as making sure that certain documents that the facility is producing actually is satisfying different permit requirements.
So my role as legal director is to think strategically about what type of laws do we need so that we can then enforce those laws to protect clean water. And part of that includes coming up with a plan how we want to strategize our litigation. In addition to that, of course, I manage a team of attorneys, not just Erin, but we have lots of attorneys who are outside counsel that work with us and help us work on our cases. We work with other waterkeeper attorneys throughout the state so that we can have a coordinated effort on protecting clean water throughout the state of California through our statewide advocacy organization that's called California Coastkeeper Alliance.
As a staff attorney, I work on developing and litigating different citizen enforcement suits that we bring. Investigating involves looking over data that facilities self-report. Once we determine that there are violations that we think are egregious enough to pursue, we then work on writing what's called a notice letter and then litigating those cases while Sarah, as the legal director, guides me through the process.
The most memorable moment is when we won our jury trial against Corona Clay Company. They found the defendant liable for 12,541 violations of the Clean Water Act. I'm the one who gave the closing argument, and the return of the jury verdict was by far the highlight of my career.
It was incredibly memorable to send out my first notice letter because it's the first case that I really got to dig my teeth into and really get to see what the facts are and how the facility was in violation of the permit, and to be able to actually analyze those and write them all out out. It felt like a very strong step forward towards a long future of environmental litigation.
Probably have too many expensive hobbies, but right now I've been really into offshore sailing and racing sailboats. I also enjoy surfing when I have time, and I enjoy spending time with my dog Bruce.
I am a huge music person. I go down deep rabbit holes of different music genres, and I also love going to concerts and music festivals like Outside Lands and Portola. I love music, and I would go to shows as often as possible if I could.
One of my favorite parts about working at Orange County Coastkeeper, aside from the amazing work that I get to do, is that I get to bring Bruce, my border collie, to the office with me every day, and he really loves being here. He has a couple of roles here at Coastkeeper. He's head of office security. He is known to be quite protective of my office and of the rest of the office. He is also what I call attorney-client privilege dog, because he can be very aggressive when people are looking at my computer specifically. Otherwise, he's a fairly friendly dog. It's really nice when you're stressed out to have your big fluffy dog. We're a dog-friendly office.
This is Joel. He is a mutt that I rescued when I found out that Coastkeeper had a dog-friendly office policy. I've always wanted to have a dog since I grew up with dogs, but when I found out I could have one here, I was like straight to the rescue, and he's our legal intern. He's only 5 months old, so he is still learning the ways of office life, but he's acclimating slowly but surely.